Welcome to Wisdom Trek with Gramps. I am Guthrie Chamberlain, and we are on day 2438 of our trek. The purpose of Wisdom Trek is to create a legacy of wisdom, to seek out discernment and insights, and to boldly grow where few have chosen to grow before. In today's Wisdom Nugget, I'll guide you through the vast landscapes of biblical wisdom. In today's episode, we'll explore Psalm chapter 17 from the New Living Translation. This heartfelt prayer of David presents a compelling plea for justice and protection from God. It's a powerful example of seeking refuge in the Lord amid life's adversities. So let's set out on our trek today and uncover the profound insights from David's words that offer us today. Psalm chapter 17, verses 1 through 15. O Lord, hear my plea for justice. Listen to my cry for help. Pay attention to my prayer, for it comes from honest lips. Declare me innocent, for you see those who do right. You have tested my thoughts and examined my hearts in the night. You have scrutinized me and found nothing wrong. I am determined not to sin in what I say. I have followed your commands, which keep me from following the cruel and evil people. My steps have stayed on your path. I have not wavered from following you. I am praying to you because I know you will answer, O God. Bend down and listen as I pray. Show me your unfailing love in wonderful ways. By your mighty power, you rescue those who seek refuge from their enemies. Guard me as you would guard your own eyes. Hide me in the shadow of your wings. Protect me from the wicked people who attack me, from murderous enemies who surround me. They are without pity. Listen to their boasting. They track me down and surround me, watching for a chance to throw me to the ground. They are like hungry lions, eager to tear me apart, young lions hiding in ambush. Arise, O Lord, stand against them, and bring them to their knees. Rescue me from the wicked with your sword. By the power of your hand, O Lord, destroy those who look to this world for their reward. But satisfy the hunger of the treasured ones. May their children have plenty, leaving an inheritance for their descendants. Because I am righteous, I will see you. When I awake, I will see your face and be satisfied. In the opening verses of Psalm 17, David's prayer begins with an earnest plea. O Lord, hear my plea for justice. Listen to my cry for help. Pay attention to my prayer, for it comes from honest lips, verses 1 and 2. David appeals to God's sense of justice, asserting his innocence and integrity. He confidently declares that his prayer is sincere, coming from a place of honesty and transparency. David's plea reflects a deep trust in God's ability to discern truth. He knows that God sees beyond our outward appearances, right into the heart. This is a powerful reminder for us as well. When we approach God with our concerns and requests, we should do so with an honest and pure heart, trusting that He knows our deepest thoughts and desires. In verses 3 through 5, David says, You have tested my thoughts and examined my heart in the night. You have scrutinized me and found nothing wrong. I am determined not to sin in what I say. I have followed your commands, which keep me from following cruel and evil people. My steps have stayed on your path. I have not wavered from following you. David asserts his commitment to righteousness and obedience to God's command. He acknowledges that God has tested him, even in the life's quiet and hidden moments, and has found his heart to be true. This commitment to living righteously keeps David on the right path, away from the influences of the wicked. The passage challenges us to examine our own lives. Are we determined to live righteously? Do we stay on God's path even though no one is watching? Like David, we should strive for integrity in our thoughts, our words, and actions, remaining steadfast in our commitment to follow God's command. In verses 6 through 9, David's prayer takes on an urgent tone. I am praying to you because I know you will answer, O God. Bend down and listen as I pray. Show me your unfailing love in wonderful ways. By your mighty power, you will rescue those who seek refuge from their enemies. Guard me as you would guard your own eyes. Hide me in the shadow of your wings. Protect me from the wicked people who attack me, from murderous enemies who surround me. David's confidence in God's protection is evident in his plea for deliverance from his enemies. He appeals to God's unfailing love and mighty power, asking for protection as a treasured possession. The imagery of being hidden in the shadow of God's wing conveys a sense of safety and refuge. This part of the psalm is a comforting reminder that we can trust in God in times of trouble. No matter how overwhelming our circumstances may seem, we can find shelter and protection in God's presence. His love and power are a sure defense against the attacks of the enemies. David continues with verses 10 through 12, describing the ruthlessness of his enemies. They are without pity. Listen to their boasting. They track me down and surround me, watching for a chance to throw me to the ground. They are like hungry lions, eager to tear me apart, like young lions hiding in ambush. These verses paint a vivid picture of the danger David faces from his enemies. Their lack of pity and relentless pursuit highlights the severity of his situation. David likens them to lions, fierce and hungry, ready to pounce at any moment. This depiction serves as a stark reminder of the challenges that we may face in our lives. We too may encounter individuals or circumstances that seek to harm us. However, just as David did, we can trust in God's protection and deliverance, trusting that He is more able to rescue us from the jaws of our adversaries. In verses 13 and 14, David calls on God to take action. "Arise, O Lord, stand against them and bring them to their knees. Rescue me from the wicked with your sword. By the power of your hand, O Lord, destroy those who look to this world for their reward, but satisfy the hunger of your treasured ones. May their children have plenty, leave an inheritance for their descendants." David's plea for divine intervention is both fervent and specific. He asks God to rise up and comfort his enemies. He asks God to rise up and confront his enemies, bringing them to their knees. At the same time, David contrasts the fate of the wicked with the blessing that God bestows on his treasured ones, ensuring that their needs are met and their children are provided for. This passage encourages us to bring our battles to God, asking Him to intervene on our behalf. We can trust that God will not only be aware of our struggles, but is also actively working to bring the justice and deliverance for His people. David concludes Psalm 17 with a powerful declaration of hope. "Because I am righteous, I will see you. When I wake, I will see you face to face and be satisfied." This verse reflects David's confidence in his relationship with God and his anticipation of the future encounter with the divine. For David, righteousness is not just a moral obligation, but a source of hope and joy. The promise of seeing God face to face and finding satisfaction in His presence is a beautiful culmination of his prayer. It underscores the ultimate reward for those who live righteously and seek God with all their hearts. This concluding verse invites us to consider our relationship with God. Are we living in a way that reflects our commitment to the righteousness? Do we eagerly anticipate the day when we will see God face to face? Let us hold fast to this hope, knowing that our efforts to live righteously will be rewarded with the joys of God's presence. As we reflect on Psalm 17, several key lessons emerge that we can apply to our lives. First is to pray honestly and with integrity. Approach God with a sincere heart, trusting that He hears and understands our deepest desires and concerns. Second, commit to righteous living. Strive to live righteously in all areas of life, staying true to God's command and avoiding the influence of the wicked. Third, seek God's protection. In times of trouble, turn to God for refuge and safety, knowing that His unfailing love and mighty power are a sure defense against our enemies. Fourth, trust in divine justice. Bring our battles to God, trusting in His ability to bring about justice and deliverance for His people. And fifth, anticipate the joy of God's presence. Live with the hope of one day seeing God face to face and finding satisfaction in His presence. As we apply these lessons to our daily lives, we deepen our relationship with God and reflect His character to those around us. Praying with honesty and integrity fosters a deep connection with our Creator. Committing to righteous living sets us on a path of true fulfillment and joy. Seeking God's protection brings us peace and security, even amid life's storms. Trusting in His divine justice gives us courage in the face of adversity, knowing that God is our advocate and defender. And anticipating the joy of God's presence fills our hearts with hope and purpose. As we conclude the exploration of Psalm 17, let's carry these lessons with us on our journey. Approach God with sincerity, commit to His righteousness, seek His protection, trust in His justice, and live with the hope of one day seeing Him face to face. By doing so, we'll align ourselves with the timeless wisdom of this psalm and live the lives that are pleasing to God. Thank you for joining me on this episode of Wisdom Trek. May these insights from Psalm 17 inspire and strengthen you as you continue on your trek through life. Until the next time, keep seeking God's wisdom, cherish each moment, and continue to make a positive impact on the world around you. And if you found this podcast insightful, please subscribe and leave us a review. Then encourage your friends and family to join us and come along with us tomorrow for another day of Wisdom Trek, creating a legacy. Thank you so much for allowing me to be your guide, your mentor, and most importantly, I am your friend as I serve you through the Wisdom Trek podcast and journal. As we take this trek of life together, let us always live abundantly, love unconditionally, listen intentionally, learn continuously, lend to others generously, lead with integrity, leave a living legacy each day. I am Guthrie Chamberlain, reminding you to keep moving forward, enjoy your journey, and create a great day every day. See you next time for more daily wisdom.